And here we are at Dunkeld Cathedral. So the bike will be getting put away pretty soon, and I'll talk a wee bit later about the reason why it's taking so long to film this, but let's just enjoy the view. Well, River Tay, very famous for its salmon, but as I don't fish, it's a bit lost in me, but what a beautiful sight. Okay, so next place I'd like to visit is the cathedral, so maybe head over there now and see what's about. Maybe see if we can grab a coffee somewhere as well, because it's that time of day. Most of Dunkeld was actually destroyed in the Battle of Dunkeld in 1689. So I was going to say it's actually a pretty new village, or town, but it's not. Even if it was constructed after there, I think it's pretty old. It was here the Cameronian regiment defeated the Jacobites after the Jacobites' recent victory at Killiecrankie. And we've obviously been to Killiecrankie and we've seen what happened there with the soldiers' leap, etc. We're going to go over now and visit the cathedral, Dunkeld Cathedral. There's something in there I would like to see, so hopefully it's opened. And you can still see the marks of the musket balls in the side of one of the gable walls there, so I don't know if we'll be able to pick that up. But what a lovely village. Very, very popular with tourists. So anyway, let's head over to the cathedral and see what awaits us there. And here we are at Dunkeld Cathedral. Like many ancient monuments in Scotland now, there seems to be an awful lot of work being done on them, as you obviously can see from the scaffold which is up there. And I'm glad to see all this work's getting done on historic buildings like this, because, you know, we've got to preserve them. And it's very similar to what we were seeing at Dunkeld when we did the drone flight over there. There's quite a bit of scaffolding, I think, internally in the castle, which has obviously been used for renovations. So that's good that we're preserving this for the future. Here we go. Unfortunately, I don't think we can get access to this today, which is a shame, but I don't know if it's the COVID regulations still kicking in or whatever, but It's very unlikely, I think, that we're going to be able to visit the inside of the cathedral, which is a shame. So behind me is the impressive Dunkeld Cathedral. Construction began in 1260 and completed in 1501. Must have been a few generations of masons and roofers involved in that one. Fathers, sons, grandfathers, great-grandfathers, for it to last that length of time. And because of that, the design features both Norman and Gothic details. There you are for those architectural people among you who are interested in that. Yeah, very impressive place. So I'm afraid that's as close as we're going to get to it today, because Historic Scotland's carrying out essential conservation work. So there's been a number of serious stone falls with, yeah. And that's why all this work's been done on it. That's a shame. That would have been an interesting place to go and see inside. It's more frustrating this year's Heart 200 because the number of places you can't get access to is really, for a variety of reasons, whether they're undergoing renovation or just COVID-19, makes it difficult. The Battle of Dunkeld, August 1689, Dunkeld was torn apart in a clash of sword and claymore. So there we are. A force of 800 Cameronians faced a Jacobite army 5 times its size. The Cameronian leader, Colonel William Cleland, positioned his troops around the cathedral and among town buildings to thwart the Jacobites' usual fearsome charge over open ground. And Colonel Cleland's tactics won the battle. There you go. It said, fire destroyed all but 3 of Dunkeld's houses, killing people barricaded inside. Okay, so we'll leave Dunkeld now and make our way to Blairgowrie. Just had to stop for a minute on the way to Blairgowrie. Sun had gone actually behind some light clouds, but now it's just beautiful, as Bernard Matthews would say. Anyway, onwards and upwards to Blairgowrie. There's not much I can tell you about Blairgowrie other than it was very famous for flax in its time, historically, but it's now a very popular soft fruit growing area, which attracts a lot of obviously seasonal work to pick the fruit during the summer. It's also part of General Wade's sort of military roads all about this way. The road to Braemar is his road as well. So the next stop we now go to is Scone Palace, so off we head there. Yep. Thank you.
And your map.
Thank you.
So when you open it up, it looks like this.
Okay.
So you're at number 1. You've got catering and retail out here on the lawn. If you wish to go to the maze, we ask that you book a time slot and you just do that at the maze itself.
Okay.
Everything you should need is listed on the back there. But most importantly, the toilets are just over there.
See that?
You won't find any up at the palace itself.
Is it not? Okay.
Any questions at all, just pop along and ask.
Okay, that's great. Thanks very much.
Enjoy.
Right. So, that's us here. So, this is one of Scotland's most important stately homes. And here we are at Scone Palace, spelt Scone Palace. This has been used to, Palace has been used as to hold the Parliament here, and also Scottish kings have been crowned here. And this was once the capital of the Picts. It's made out of red sandstone. And has what they call a castellated roof for all used budding architects. But yeah, lovely, impressive grounds. It's about 12 degrees. We're now mid-October. 12 degrees is actually okay, but once you've been driving up the motorway for a while, it gets rather chilly. So within the next month, the bike will be put away probably. Anyway, going for a coffee first and something to eat. No, this is a life. Enjoying a coffee. Just reading up that the palace contains an outstanding collection of antiques, paintings and rare artefacts, and the grounds are renewed throughout Scotland, making this one of the most popular attractions in both Perth and Scotland. There you go. It's been extensively updated in the 19th century. So here you have it. This is the site of the enthronements of the kings of Scots in the Scots parliaments. The mound is said to have been formed by lords carrying earth in their boots after swearing loyalty to the king on their own land. They deposited the soil to create the mound as we see it today. So this place here is called Moot Hill, and the stone over here is a replica of the Stone of Destiny, the coronation stone. It's used at the coronation of, it was last used at the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II in 1953, but it was actually stolen from Scotland by King Edward I of England as a spoil of war, and it was kept in Westminster Abbey, where it was used at the coronations of kings. And this here is a chapel. It sits on Moot Hill. It's actually called a mortuary chapel for some reason. I don't know why, but that indeed is what it is. Oh, lovely building. Oh, lovely gardens. The other thing to say about the Stone of Destiny was it was stolen in 1950 by a group of 4 Scottish students and brought back to Scotland, deposited in Arbroath Abbey, I think. It was then taken back to England after 4 months and kept in, again, Westminster Abbey. It was returned by the UK government to Scotland in 1996, and since then it's been held at Edinburgh Castle. I think there's been some debate as to where it should actually be held going forward. There's a case has been made for it being taken back here to Perth and also back or kept at Edinburgh Castle as well. I'm going to show you the stone now. The stone round the corner is actually a replica of the real stone as such, so it's not the real thing. The real Stone of Destiny measures 27 inches by 11 inches by 16 inches and made out of sandstone. When the students took the Stone of Destiny from Westminster Abbey in 1950, it actually broke. The original one broke, and they had to go to a mason to have it reattached to itself. But anyway, this is a replica, it's not the real thing. Robert the Bruce, enthroned 1306. Constantine II, enthroned 900. There we go. A replica of the stone which the kings of Scotland were crowned on Moot Hill until 1296 when Edward I took the stone to Westminster Abbey. See, told you he stole it. Anyway, moving on.